Nearly 900 people were arrested in the UK on Saturday for exercising their right to free speech by expressing their support for the PAL Action Group at a large demonstration. It's important to note that free speech is significantly less absolute in the UK than it is in the United States. Not that it's totally absolute here either, but in the UK, freedom of speech is pretty much entirely guaranteed by Article 10 of the Human Rights Act of 1998, which grants the right to express opinions and impart information. This right can, however, be restricted under specific legal conditions. One of those restrictions is that people cannot voice their support for any organization designated as a scare organization. The PAL Action Group received this designation on July 5th of this year after two members broke into a Royal Air Force base and vandalized two aircrafts by spraying red paint into the engines back in June. The government's case for prescription has been advanced based entirely, as far as I can tell, on damage to property. While the legal definition of scarism in the UK does include, quote, serious property damage, as long as the purpose is the advancement of a political, religious, or ideological cause, this still seems like a crazy designation to me based on the vandalism the group has committed so far. I'm not alone in that assessment either. UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk warned that the UK government's decision to prescribe the group under the scare legislation raises serious concerns that these laws are being applied to conduct that is not scare-related in nature and risks hindering the legitimate exercise of fundamental freedoms across the UK. He said that while UK counter-scare legislation does include this wording, international standards are that scare acts should be confined to criminal acts intended to take lives or inflict serious harm for the purpose of intimidating a population or compel a government. A direct quote from Turk states, "It misuses the gravity and impact of scare to expand it beyond those clear boundaries to encompass further conduct that is already criminal under the law." All of that preamble brings us to Saturday, when a large group of festival goers gathered to express similar discontent with this designation and to continue to insist that the UK government condemn the actions of IZ in the Strip. At this event, a total of 890 people were arrested, and while the vast majority were arrested explicitly for supporting the proscribed group, 17 were arrested for violence against police officers. So far, no footage has backed up those accusations, and organizers and festival goers claim that these charges are made up and the demonstrations remained peaceful other than the actions of the police. I sincerely hope it goes without saying that all of this is an absolutely insane infringement on the rights of free expression of both these demonstrators and, in my opinion, the PAL Action Group itself. Regardless of whether this is justifiable under UK law, it is unjustifiable under any rational understanding of morality. If you are in the United States like me, you have been able to see you must be able to see how easy it would be for this type of logic to be applied to groups like Jewish Voices for Peace or Veterans for Peace or the Council for a Livable World or any other U.S. organization dedicated to speaking out against violent foreign policy. We have a clear record of using this exact type of language to restrict civilian freedoms. And just look at the Patriot Act of 2001 if you have any doubts about that. If you think this type of infringement on our freedom of speech couldn't be enacted here, or if you're in the portion of the population who would support this type of thing, you need to get your fucking head on straight. This is a clear case of gross government overreach, and our government is looking for new and exciting ways to grossly overreach right into your fucking home every day.